गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतानश्चन्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। श्रुतिस्तुतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता वन्दे श्रीगुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम श्री शंकराचार्य स्वामिने नमः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। Can start? One second. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Magadya.
Okay, you can start.
Yes, sir. Lakshmi BV Bagni.
Yes, Bhagavad. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha Mahashano Mahapapma Vidyena Miha Vairinam.
Good.
Lalita K Bagni. Yes, sir. धूमेन व्रियते वह्निः यथा दर्शो मलेन च यथोर्बेनावृतो गर्भः तथा तेनेदमावृतम्। कश्मीर भगिनी।
Yes. आवृतं ज्ञानमेतेन ज्ञानिनो नित्यवैरिणा कामरूपेण कौन्तेय दुष्पूरेणानलेन च।
लीना मेहरुल बगनी।
इन्द्रियाणि मनोबुद्धिः अस्याधिष्ठानमुच्यते एतैर्विमोहयत्येषः ज्ञानमावृत्य देहिनम्।
कृष्णा पवानी बगनी।
नमस्ते महोदय।
नमस्ते।
तस्मात्त्वमिन्द्रियाण्यादौ नियम्य भरतर्षभ पाप्मानं प्रजहिह्येनं ज्ञानविज्ञाननाशनम्।
शरद चवन महोदय।
इंद्रियाणि पराण्याहु इंद्रियेभ्यः परं मनः मनसस्तु परा बुद्धि यो बुद्धे परतस्तु सः।
Just one small comment.
Yes,
Paranyahuhu. Similarly, next line also buddhihi. Just not buddhi, buddhihi. Paranyahuhu. Okay. You can just keep in mind.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
वीणा पाणिश्री बगनी।
नमस्ते महोदय। एवं बुद्धे परं बुद्ध्वा संस्तभ्यात्मानमात्मना जहि शत्रुमहाबाहो कामरूपं दुरासदम्।
शांति बगनी।
ओम तत्सदिति श्रीमद् भगवद गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्म विद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे कर्मयोगो नाम तृतीयोऽध्यायः।
तत्सदिति. Okay. Om Tatsaditi. Okay.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah. So, by God's grace, we were able to complete 3 chapters of Bhagavad Gita last week. We have done 162 slokas of 700 slokas. That is almost 23% of the 700 slokas we have completed. And before we go to the 4th chapter, just a quick recap on the Bhagavad Gita that we have learned so far. The first chapter was giving only a contextual understanding of the need for Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna came with so much amount of enthusiasm to get into a battlefield, get into the battle. But on looking his own people on either side, be it acharyas or grandsires or relatives, and also people, the countrymen of his own people and his friends' countrymen, he felt that there was no point in having a war which is going to be waged between his own people and causing so much of destruction. And he felt that there's no need for fighting for this war. And whatever he is going to gain out of this is all going to be stained with blood. Whether it's Rajya or Sukha, anything that he is going to get is all going to be stained with blood. And he said that there's no point in getting into this wage. And he also started talking something that if all the men folks die, then there will be also Varna Nasham will be there, and then the Pitrus will not be getting their own appropriate oblations which are done by people. So he went on different directions and different dimensions in terms of why he should not wage the war, because he had a compassionate heart. He's a person who is a good person, dharmic person, capable warrior, but still had a compassionate heart, because of which he said, there's no point, rather I will not fight, I'll better go out of this war. At that time, he did not go, but he was asking Krishna, please tell me. At that time, he said, Shadi Mam Tam Pravarnam, Yachreyas Sya Nichidam Bruhidan Me. He said, please tell me what is the one that is going to provide me Shreyas. Please tell me that. Shadi Mam Tam Pravarnam. I am surrendering to you. That is what he told to Lord Krishna. Then once he said this word that I am surrendering to you, Krishna started smiling. Prahasanniva Bharata. He started smiling, and in between the two armies, Krishna started providing him with a teaching. So the first sloka of teaching by Bhagavan was on the 11th sloka of the 2nd chapter, Ashochan Anvashocha Swam. That is the sloka which he started. So first from 11th sloka to 30th sloka of 2nd chapter, Lord Krishna was talking about the characteristics or lakshanas of Atma. So he gave a very big understanding to Arjuna about Atma, and telling him that Atma is eternal. Atma is not bound by time. Atma does not show up in time like a body. Anything that shows up in body goes away in body, and Atma is eternal. Atma is Brahman. So he was giving initial orientation about Lakshanas of Atma, almost up to the 30th sloka of 2nd chapter. Then in 30 and 47, 48 slokas, he was slowly transitioning him from thinking about Atma to doing what is right at any specific point in moment. So he started slowly getting into Karma Yoga, wherein he also had introduced a sloka of Karmanye Vadikaraste Mahapaleshu Kadachana. 46th sloka of 2nd chapter, he introduced that sloka also. Then he was just slowly talking about Karma Yoga, and he felt that at that point in time, Arjuna has got to perform action. Then suddenly Arjuna asked a question of Sita Prajna. Then he was also talking about Sita Prajna, about the characteristics of Sita Prajna. And in that Sita Prajna only he was talking about, they are the people who are Atmanye Atmana Tuttaha Sita Prajna Uchave. So the people are able to have happiness within themselves and does not seek for happiness in the external world of objects. Those people are Sita Prajnas. And he also started talking about how these Kama, Krodha, all those things come up. Yayato Vishayan Pumsa Sangastheshu Pajayate. He started talking about attachment leading to Kama, Kama to Krodha, all those kinds of things. And then he was telling that there is a need for action, that is Karma Yoga. So we did the entire chapter of Karma Yoga, wherein the Bhagavan told that he has got to understand what is Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is an attitude, and he has got to perform action that is required of him at that situation without looking for the results thereof. Accept the results as though they are going to be only a prasada, but what is required he should do. When he is able to do that kind of a thing, that is the one that is going to provide him with a kind of a antakarana chuti. And antakarana chuti is something that is very much required in terms of having the mental maturity to get the jnana. Jnana is the biggest understanding of oneself, and the purpose of life is that we all should have a very clear understanding of why we are born, what is the essence of myself, true self, That is a thing. So that is what he had talked about in the case of the third chapter. Extensively we discuss about that. And then if you look at that jnana can be gained only by a very, very cultured, matured mind. A sannyasi is a person who already has a matured contemplative mind, and he is fit for renunciation of all his actions. He can go to Himalayas, find a guru, and then get this jnana and then get realization. If everybody is not having that maturity of mind for getting this jnana, then they need to follow the karma yoga path, where they have to understand the limitations of this body, limitations of the happiness coming out of sense organs, and also from the external world of things, and then try to understand what is karma yoga, and then have absolutely an attitude which needs to totally change, and then with that attitude you get at the karma chutti. So that is what we have done up to the third chapter of karma yoga. So now we are going to the third chapter. Now we are going to the fourth chapter. The fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita is called Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. This is the topic of renunciation of action. That is, Karma Yoga is what we are trying to ensure that we are able to, whatever we do not want to have the kartrutvam. Kartavyam we'll do, but kartrutvam, the action of a doer of knowledge, the doer of something, we have to give up. So renunciation of action, by how can we do that? Only by knowledge. So this particular chapter is called the renunciation of action through knowledge, or Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. So now, as we had already discussed, there are only two ways by which we can understand this knowledge. That is either by Karma Yoga or by Sannyasa Yoga. And we all should be very, very clear that we are at this point in time, we cannot become a sannyasi because of various kinds of compulsions we have and various kinds of responsibilities that we have. So we can continue to be a samsari, like 99% of the people in the world are samsaris. But only thing is that having an attitude in terms of what is that we are doing, one. And secondly, action should not be self-oriented. If any action becomes selfish orientation, then that immediately starts defeating the purpose of karma yoga. Only when actions are done without a selfish motive, whatever is being done, even within the circle of the family or circle of society or circle of organization, that is the one that is going to continuously improve the mental maturity, which will be important, which will be very, very much requisite for having the knowledge that is to be gained. Okay, so that is what is the thing that we have discussed about. And the other important thing is that this knowledge of the self is a sampradaya kind of knowledge. If you look at our Indian culture, it has been passed on from generations to generations. This knowledge has been there. It will be there always. But the knowledge has got to pass on from one generation to another generation. And then it is just going on like that from time immemorial. So we always say that sampradaya is required. Guru Shishya sampradaya is very, very important in our culture. And if you look at just reading a Bhagavad Gita, can be one method. Or if you can have somebody who can explain to it, that is going to be a good advantage to kick it off. Okay, so they always feel that it's better to have a kind of a teacher who is going to provide this knowledge with this level of understanding, and then you can continue to proceed further and find much better teachers who will be able to provide you with this knowledge. So there is an initiation required, but it is essential that there has to be some kind of a discussion or a sampradaya is there, that it has got to be passed down from generation to generation. Okay, and that's the reason why we say that Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmad Acharya Padyantam Shri Guru Paramparam. So we have got Sadashiva Samarambam, the first Guru. We always, if you look at it from the knowledge, we say Sadashiva Samarambam. In that Guru Parampara, Adi Shankaracharya came in between, because we follow Advaita Vedanta kind of philosophy. And then in the same Parampara, there are a lot of teachers that we have. We have teachers from Ramakrishna Mutt, we have got teachers from Dayananda Saraswati Mutt, we have got teachers from different types of people who are all trying to provide help in terms of providing this knowledge. So from there, those people we learn. See, all of us are learning from those kinds of Mahatmas who are able to have a very good understanding, and we learn from that. And whatever we are learning, we are also sharing with one another. So the sampradaya is very, very important. Now, why did we talk about sampradaya? The reason is that Lord Krishna himself has told that sampradaya is extremely important in terms of taking this knowledge further. Okay. So now we'll go to the new chapter, the fourth chapter. Let me. Kamakshi madam, are you there? Sorry, I don't know whether the fourth chapter has been downloaded. She has not sent it. I think. Just hold on, please.
Mahadev, she has sent it to your personal number.
She has sent it just now,
இல்ல முன்னாடி அனுப்பிச்சிட்டா போல இருக்கு.
அப்படியா? So I'll just check it out. Yeah, it is there. Sorry, it's my mistake.
It's all right.
Just give me a minute. Apologies for hold up. Another 5 minutes, I'll resolve this, please.
Otherwise, also, sir, we are having the books with us.
Just let us have a kind of a common text that we follow. Just give me 2 minutes. I think yesterday I was not in town. I just overlooked things. I'm sorry. And since a new one, no, I should have done it. Just hold on.
No problem.
The screen visible now?
Yes, sir.
Mahodaya.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's start now.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
Yes, ma'am.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Ath Chaturdhodhyayah Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogah.
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः ज्ञानकर्म संन्यास योगः
Once again.
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः ज्ञानकर्म संन्यास योगः
Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
नमस्ते महोदय
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Imau Vivasvate Yogam
श्रीभगवानुवाच इमं विवस्वते योगम्
Sheila Shinde Bhagini, I think you have to mute your line. Yeah, go ahead.
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Go ahead. Usha Srinivasan Bhagini, you have to chant. Hello.
श्रीभगवानुवाच इमं विवस्वते योगम्
Proktavanahamavyayam
प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययम्
Imau Vivasvate Yogam Proktavanahamavyayam
इमं विवस्वते योगम् प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययम्
Okay, you can say Imau Vivaspate Yogam. Okay, that these are the Sandhi rule. Anuswara Sandhi. Imau Vivaspate Yogam Proktavanahamavyayam. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Next.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
इमौ विवस्वते योगम् प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययम्.
Next.
Sharda Rajan Bhagini.
Yes.
Vivasvan manave praha.
विवस्वान् मनवे प्राह विवस्वान् मनवे प्राह
Manu ikshvakuve bravit.
मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत् मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत्
Vivasvan manave praha. Manurishvakave bravit.
विवस्वान् मनवे प्राह मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत् विवस्वान् मनवे प्राह मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत्.
Next.
Gurumurti Mahodaya.
Yes, ma'am.
Imau vivasvate yogam proktavanahamauvyayam.
Imau vivasvate yoham bhoktavanahamauvyayam. Imau vivasvate yoham bhoktavanahamauvyayam.
Next.
Vijay Lakshmi Rajkumar Bhagini.
Vivasvan manave praha. Manurikshvakave bravit.
विवस्वान्मनवे प्राह मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत् विवस्वान्मनवे प्राह मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत्.
Good. Next.
Anupama Bhatt Bhagini.
First line 2 times.
इमं विवस्वते योगं प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययम् इव विवस्वते योगं प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययम्.
Next.
Dr. Sai Lakshmi.
Namaste.
Second line 2 times.
विवस्वान्मनवे प्राहा मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत् विवस्वान्मनवे प्राहा मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत्.
Good. Next.
Srimati.
Yes, Mahodaya.
First line 2
Shri
times.
Bhagav. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Yeah.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha imau vivasvate yogam proktavanahamavvyayam vivasvanmanave praha manurikshvakave bravit.
Good. Next.
Bhanureka.
Yeah, the entire shloka once.
श्रीभगवानुवाच इमं विवस्वते योगं प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययम् विवस्वान्मनवे प्राह मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत्.
Next.
Santi Bhakti.
Both the lines.
श्रीभगवानुवाच इमौ विवस्वते योगं प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययम् विवस्वान्मनवे प्राह मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत्.
Good. One more person.
Shanti Badri Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Both the lines once.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha imau vivasvate yogam proktavanahamavyayam vivasvan manave praha manurikshvakave bravit.
Good. We'll go to the meaning of this. So I told you about the parampara. Parampara means it is coming down from generation to generation. It is just passed down. Now, what is Bhagavan telling to Arjuna now is that, Arjuna, I have talked to you about Karma Yoga. I also talked to you about Sannyasa Yoga so far. And then these two yogas are called Avyaya Yogas. Yogam Avyayam. Imam Vivaspate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam. Yogam Avyayam means these two yogas are able to provide, these two, that is Karma Yoga and Jnana and Sannyasa Yoga, are able to provide you with Avyayam. Avyayam means eternity, that is moksha. So Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga will be able to provide you with moksha. Okay, so this Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, what Bhagavan is telling is that Proktavan Aham Vivasvate Imam Yogam. This yoga, I had told Vivasvan, that is sun god, okay, or the Suryavanshi, the king of the solar kingdom. He said that Vivasvan Proktavan Aham. I had told these two yogas to the sun god. I had only initiated the Lord Sun himself with this yoga, and I only taught him. So what we have to understand here is that when the world was created, when the universe was created, the solar system was existing, and the earth came into creation. And whenever you have any creation, like the way whenever we have a small gadget, we have got a kind of a small operations manual, booklet of how to operate. Similarly, when God made the entire creation, and then he is making the entire creation to be functional by itself, he needs to have a manual for this particular worldly order to sustain, and that particular thing is a Veda. So this Veda has again come from whom? The man who creates a gadget only knows how to make the operating manual. So when he has made this creation, the operating manual Veda has to come from whom? Ishvara himself, God himself. In this incarnation, he may be Krishna, but it is Ishvara, the Brahman, Param Brahman. So he had only come out with these Vedas. So when he created the creation and then along with it he made the Vedas, then he has got to train people. He has to train people, or whenever he has got a new gadget, new product is launched, they'll come. Even when you buy a washing machine, that person will give the operator manual, come to your home and give a training program. So you have to open the water like this, you have to switch on like this, you have to sit like this. So when God has made the creation and also he had made a kind of Veda as operator's manual, he has got explained to the very first person. Who was the first person? The Sun God. So he said, these Karma Yoga and Sannyasa Yoga, Jnana Yoga, I only taught to Vivaswan, Sun God. Then what did Sun God do? Sun God taught it to his son Manu Chakravarti. Vivaswan Manave Praha. So the Sun God has communicated or taught this particular yogas of Abhyaya yogas to his son Manu Chakravarti, the Raja Manu. Then Manu, what did Manu do? Manu had taken it up with the Ikshvaku Vamsha. We say Ikshvaku Vamsha is, even Rama belongs to Ikshvaku Vamsha. Dasarata comes from the Ikshvaku Vamsha. Raja Harishchandra comes from the Ikshvaku Vamsha. So, what he says is that I told to Sun God, and Sun God told it to Manu, and Manu had passed on this knowledge to Ikshvaku dynasty, Ikshvakave Abravit. So he told it to Ikshvaku, and Ikshvaku had brought it down in the entire Surya Vamshi or Surya dynasty. And you also will be aware that when the new order was created and the operating information has been given as Vedas to Sun teaches this to Manu. Manu was the very first king, and Manu is supposed to be the person who was able to rule with a very high level of integrity. That means when you have anything at your disposal, you need to follow the highest level of dharma. And Manu is supposed to be the person who was having very highest level of dharma in terms of following a Raja Paripalanam. So when we say Manu Chakravarti is taken as example. So what he is telling is that even those days, the kings were given this knowledge so that when they are responsible for taking care of the people, they have the responsibility to ensure a proper management of the entire kingdom and its prajas and the entire creation of the world. So here in this first shloka, Bhagavan says that this particular Abhyaya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Sannyasa Yoga, I had only initiated to Vivaswan, that is the solar king, and their solar devata is Sun God. Then he had passed it on to Manu, and Manu had passed it on to Ikshvaku. So it keeps coming down the entire generations. Next.
Lalita K. Bagini.
Yes, sir.
Evam parampara praptam.
Evam parampara praptam. Evam parampara praptam.
Imam rajarshayo viduhu.
Imam rajarshayo viduhu. Imam rajarshayo viduhu.
Evam parampara praptam. Imam rajarshayo viduhu.
Evam parampara praptam. Imam rajarshayo viduhu. Evam parampara praptam. Imam rajarshayo viduhu.
Next.
Lakshmi B.B. Bagini.
Yes, Bhakti.
Sakale neha mahata.
Sakale neha mahata. Sakale neha mahata.
Yogo nashtah parantapa.
Yogo nasta param tapa. Yogo nasta parantapa.
Sakale neha mahata. Yogo nashtah parantapa.
Sakale neha mahata. Yogo nasta parantapa. सकले नेह महता योगो नष्ट परन्तप.
Good. Next.
Sai Lakshmi Bhagini.
एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः.
एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः. एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः.
Good. Next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप.
सकालेन महता योगो
काले नेह महता कालेन इह कालेनेह.
सकालेनेह महता योगो नष्ट परन्तप.
Correct.
सकालेन महता योगो नष्ट परन्तप.
कालेनेह, not कालेन.
कालेनेह
कालेन.
सकालेनेह महता
Correct.
योगो नष्ट परन्तप.
Okay. Parantapa. Yeah. Next.
Yes.
Veena Panishree Bhagini.
First line 2 times.
Yes, ma'am. एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः. एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः.
Good. Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Second line 2 times.
Yes, sir. सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप. सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप.
Good. Next.
Gurumurthy Mahodaya.
The 2 lines slowly once.
Yes, sir. Evam parampara praptam imam rajashayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashta parantaba.
Good. Next.
Krishna Pavani Bhagini.
Both the lines once.
एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः. सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप.
Good. One more person.
Leena Mehrul Bhagini. Leena Mehrul Bhagini. Dr. Sai Lakshmi Bhagini.
नमस्ते महोदय.
Sir.
Both the lines महोदय.
Yeah, both lines once. Yeah.
Okay. एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः. सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्ट परन्तप.
Good. One more person.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
Yes, ma'am. एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः. सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्ट परन्तप.
So we'll go to the meaning of this. So as I told you, this way, the knowledge was given by Lord Krishna as Ishvara the creator, was first told to Vivaswan. Vivaswan, sun god, told to his son Manu. Manu had passed on to Ishvaku Vamsha, which also had very great kings like Rama and Harishchandra, all those people. So it has been coming like this. So then how is it? Evam parampara praptam. This knowledge, this yoga is parampara praptam, is gained by generation to generation. Evam parampara praptam. And this one, apart from the Rajas, whom we talked about, has been passed on from the Surya dynasty, right from sun god. Imam, this particular knowledge, Rajarshayo Viduhu. Even the rishis who were there, they were also aware. Rajas were aware, Rajas were aware, rishis were also aware. Like Janaka was also aware. During Janaka's time, we had some very good rishis. Gautama was there, Ahalya's husband, Gautama Rishi was there. Then we had, in the Ramayana time, we had Vasishta was there as a rishi. Vishwamitra was also a rishi those days in the time of Ramayana. Then we had Gargi, one of the lady women Rishinis were there. Those particular time. Gargi was there. She was also aware of all these things. So in that particular parampara praptam, it was known to Rajas and also rishis. There are a lot of rishis and saints living in those times. And it was known to Rajas as well as rishis. Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu. So even those people are aware. Like as I told you, Gautama, Vishwamitra, sage Vasishta, etc. Even in the time of Arjuna, Vyasa was there. Vyasa is supposed to be the avatar of Lord Krishna. Vyasa is the one who has made Bhagavad and Gita has been compiled by him. In fact, these words, whatever we are telling, is not the word of Krishna. Krishna might, perhaps he wouldn't have told it in this language, he would have used a different language. It was Vyasa who had been putting it in the form of beautiful slokas. And these are all from the Vyasa, it has all come from Vyasa. So Vyasa was also a sage living at the time of Mahabharata. Vasa's son Shuka was another great saint who was also living at that particular time. So it has been coming through Rajas, who were also people like Janaka were leading a life which was a kind of a karma yogis. They were doing Loka Sangraham, Loka Sangraham Evapi, they were all doing Raja Paripalan. They did it as a responsibility to the karma without any kind of self-interest. So that is the way Rajas were all there. And then it was also brought from generation to generation by the rishis. But what has happened, sir, this particular knowledge, Kalena iha mahata nashta parantapa. This particular knowledge, because of passage of time, it has undergone some level of nashta. It has not been present the way it should be available across. The reason is that now, if you look at the time of Arjuna's time also, Arjuna has been in the palace where Krishna was visiting very often. He had a very great teacher by Dronacharya and Kripacharya, very knowledgeable people. And then he also had the advantage of Krishna for so many years. Krishna is the biggest teacher. He was there with Arjuna all these years. Vyasa was coming into the palace and going. Sukha was coming to the palace and going. All these people had the knowledge. But unfortunately, Arjuna had also not got the least idea of this knowledge till such time he goes into the war field and then asking Krishna, please tell me, yes, Shan Nishidam Bruhi Dhanme. Only at that time he said, please tell me what is that's going to give me Shreyas. Till that time, he also had not even asked to find out what is Karma Yoga or what is Sannyas Yoga. So why it is happening? Why this nashta is happening? Nashta is happening because we have a lot of Duryodanas in the world. So Duryodanas are not only in Mahabharata time. In our time also we got a lot of Duryodanas. So Duryodanas are not bothered to know this. They are all continuously involved in their own life. They are driven by something else in life. So because of that, this entire yoga has undergone this kind of nashta. So that is what is said. So Kalena Iha Mahata, it has undergone lot of nashta because of passage of time. So if you look at that way, even in Arjuna's time, in the presence of Krishna, Vyasa, Sukha, and great teachers, still Arjuna was not asking for this knowledge at that time also. Only in the war field is asking. So look at the situation today. Today, if you look at that way, in the current world, some of us are sitting now together to understand what is this knowledge, what is this Karma Yoga. Let us try to understand this Karma Yoga so that we are having this kind of a knowledge, trying to understand this. So this is what Bhagavan is telling. The other important thing is that from our own contemporary things, we had great rishis, acharyas, etc. But this knowledge had to be passed on from generation to generation because for time immemorial, there was not much of capability for storage of documents. Now only we have got a lot of advantage in terms of documentation. Even whatever I am talking today, we're all discussing, everything is getting into YouTube. The knowledge is getting stored. Whatever we are talking is getting stored, right or wrong. It's all getting stored and somebody will be able to get access to it anytime in the future. But if you look at some years ago, say 300, 400 years ago, when paper was not there, these documents, etc., has got to be stored in the Indians. We were keeping it in small leaves. And Vyasa time, they wrote it down only in the case of leaves and kept it. Right? Before that and all, it has got to be passed on from person to person. That is the reason why it's called for Shruti. Shruti means Stotram. It is heard and then kept. So if you look at Veda learning itself, the compulsorily it's all Shruti. There somebody will teach, somebody has to listen and then repeat. So that is the way this entire Veda has sustained thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And right now we have the advantage of having these kinds of mediums by which we are able to get access to this knowledge, be electronic medium or digital medium. It's fantastic. The way the knowledge is able to be access is very, very good now. And another thing, what I understood is that even 150 years ago, there was not much of people who had advantage of access to this knowledge under 150 years ago. But only in the last 150 years, there has been a lot of focus given by Ramakrishna Mission and many of the other institutions in the country who are coming out with so many monks who are traveling all over the world and taking up this knowledge. Before that and all, they were all living in villages in small, small places. There will be one Pandit who will be teaching something. Some of them will learn from him. Otherwise, they'll be having some Kada Kalakshepam somewhere where they'll go and then try to understand this. But today, I think we are all very, very lucky in one aspect that we have access to so many Mahatmas talking about this. We have access to so many kinds of texts and narrations. So this yoga, what was supposed to be nashta, I think we have got access wise, lot of things have been done and it has got to be taken to many more people. So what is Bhagavan telling is that this yoga becomes a nashta because of passage of time. That is also because there has to be the knowledge, as far as this knowledge is concerned, this knowledge is not given as a free knowledge to anybody who just somebody is going on the road, then call him and then say, come, let me teach you Gita. That is not the way about it. What Bhagavan says is that the knowledge of understanding oneself, somebody should have a drive within him and then he should say, I want to know this, and go to somebody who knows and then he asks and then the other person gives. So somebody has to ask that I want this knowledge, then only they'll give. Lord Krishna knew Arjuna for so many years, but still till such time Arjuna said, you tell me, then only he had told. So this our Guru Parampara also it's like this, unless otherwise it is asked. Our Guru Shishya Parampara, they don't normally want to tell because they feel that the urge for knowing this should come from the individual. It should not happen that you are taking this knowledge to somebody who is not interested in that. And then it is going to have a further damage to it. So our parampara is very, very clear that they have to come and say, I want this. Then the Guru, whoever it may be, any kind of mata you go and you say that I want to know this, Gurus will never deny if the student is right in terms of his requirements. They will look at the student and then they pass on this knowledge. So this is what is the he is just telling that this is what has happened over the years due to the passage of time. This has undergone some amount of nashta, but this was known as a parampara to rajas as well as rishis also in the past. Okay, next.
Anupama Bhatt Bhagini.
स ये वायं मया तेद्य
स ये वायं मया तेद्य स ये वायं मया तेद्य
योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः
योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः
स ये वायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः
स ये वायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः स ये वायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः.
Next.
Lakshmi BV Bhagini.
Yes, Bhagini.
भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति
भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति
रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्
रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम् रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्
भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्
भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम् भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्
नेक्स्ट
श्रीमती भगिनी
स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः
स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः
नेक्स्ट
विजयलक्ष्मी राजकुमार भगिनी
भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्
भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम् भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्
नेक्स्ट
शारदा राजन भगिनी
फर्स्ट लाइन 2 times
स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः
good next
उषा श्रीनिवासन भगिनी
भक्तो second line 2 times
भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम् भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्
next
भानुरेखा भगिनी
both the lines once
स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्
very good next
शांति भगिनी
both the lines
स एवायं मया देव्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः
repeat the first line again slowly
स एवायं मया देव्य
not devya maya tedya maya te adya adya means now today at out okay adya okay te adya to you right now te adya tedya
okay sir sorry
yeah.
स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्योत
No, rahasyam he means however he etadu uttamam hetadu uttamam
रहस्यं ह्येतनुत्तमम्
uttamam hetaduttamam
खेददुत्तमम्
correct
रहस्यं ह्येददुत्तमम्
डॉक्टर साई लक्ष्मी
both the lines one
स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्
very good next
शांति बद्री भगिनी
Yes, sir.
yeah
स एवायं मया धेत्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्
good next
शरद चौहान महोदय
both the lines slowly once
Sharachavan Mahodaya.
Yes, ma'am. Sa evayamaya tedya yoga prokta puratana bhaktosti me sakha cheti rasyam yetaduttamam.
One more person.
Krishna Pavani Bhagini.
स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्.
Good. Next.
Veena Panisri Bhagini.
स एवायं मया तेभ्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्.
Good. So we go to the meaning of this. So Bhagavan, he was telling that no, it was parampara praptam imam rajarshi vidihu. It was coming down the paramparas. People, the rajas were aware of it, rishis were aware of it. And it was initially told by me to sun god. Okay. Now he's telling sayeva, the same thing. Okay. I am this knowledge, maya, by me, te for you, adya, right now. Puratana Yoga Proktaha. I am going to talk about the very, very old yoga right now to you. The same thing that I have told to Lord Sun at the time of creation, I am now going to talk to you. Sayeva Ayam Mayate Adya Yoga Prokta Puratana. The old, one of the most old important yoga, Adya right now, today, Maya by me, I am going to tell you, Yoga Prokta, I am going to tell you. Why I am telling you? Bhakto, see. First time you is using the word Bhakto, see, you are my Bhakta. Bhakto, see, me, you are my Bhakta. Sakache iti, also my friend. Rahasyam, the one I am telling is Rahasyam, secret. He etadu uttamam. Because this secret is one of the highest secrets. That is the meaning of this word. That I am going to tell the same thing that I told to Bhagavan, Lord Son, to you right now. And he is using the word Bhaktosi, you are a Bhakta. So far, he had never told him that he was a Bhakta. He was only telling Saka, friend. Or he'll call him in Parantapa, Arjuna like that. But now he says Bhakta. When you say Bhakta, he is now getting a very clear understanding. I think Arjuna would have got an understanding that he is the Lord. So far, he was thinking it is Saka. He was thinking he is a friend. But he's also telling that you are my Bhakta and also my friend. He's again coming down to him and telling, I'm telling you this particular Uttamam, the highest secret. He says secret. Why do you mean it's secret? Does it mean that only some people should be keeping it under lock and key in their house? No. The thing is, what is a secret? Anything that is not discernible to us by our five senses is a secret. If we are not able to know a key which has been kept in the house, it is not possible to be seen, then we say, I do not know where it is. Somebody has kept it in a secret place. So anything that is not possible to be managed with the five senses at that point in time, that is a secret. Okay. But this is not that kind of secret. This secret is that the knowledge of self is available always. Okay. But only thing is that we have got inability to understand that. Hence, it is a secret. It is not that somebody is keeping it under a secret. It is because of our inability, our incapability for understanding this knowledge. Because we are not able to apprehend this knowledge which is available in front of us, it is a secret. Because we don't know. So it's a secret. So that is the way he is telling about this. So he says that I am going to tell you the same yoga. And now the question arises whether Arjuna was aware that Krishna is a god before, or Arjuna comes to know only now what is the thing. So there are different kinds of talks go on there. Because as far as both Arjuna and Krishna are concerned, both of them had the same grandfather. I think it is Ugrasena, right? Ugrasena's son was Ugrasena, daughter was Kunti, Kunti's son is Arjuna. Then Ugrasena's son was Nandagopa, right? Vasudeva, sorry, Devaki Vasudeva. Vasudeva's son is Krishna. So if you look at the grandfather, son's son is Krishna, daughter's son is Arjuna. So they both have the same grandfather. So Arjuna only looks at him as a cousin brother, nothing more than that at this point in time, because he has seen Krishna being there. So, but now Arjuna also has got a doubt whether he is a God himself. Even in one of the slokas in the third chapter or something, we have seen that he was studying that. Kartavyam Trishilokesha Kinchana Asti. I don't have anything to do with the three lokas. That's what he told. But that time also, whether Arjuna had understood that clearly or not, we don't know. But here also, when he says Bhaktosi, then whether Arjuna has understood that he is Lord Krishna, he is the Ishvara, we don't know. What Adi Shankaracharya in his commentary was telling was that Arjuna was actually aware that it is Lord Krishna, but he also was not very clear whether he is actually a god or not god. He was also having a lot of doubts. So he had some understanding that he could be a god, but he also did not have full understanding that he is a god. So he wanted to, by asking these questions, he wanted to try to find out and know from God himself and say whether he is a god. So that is what I think Arjuna was also trying to understand, because he didn't want Shredeva to ask, are you God? Okay, he is not asking that kind of a question. So there is a kind of, he's getting some confusion. Arjuna is getting a confusion whether he is a god, he is my cousin, he both have same grandparent, he is a ruler of Dwaraka. All those confusions are there. And of course, all those things will be revealed to him in the 10th chapter when Bhagavan talks about the Vibhuti Yogam, that is his glory. And in the 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshanam, when he shows everything, of course, Arjuna will be fully convinced that he is only Parameshwara. But now there is a big confusion, but still Krishna is dropping the thing, he is just giving a hint. Bhaktosi ve saka. So you are my bhakta and also my friend. So I want to tell you the rahasyam, which is very, very important. Why this rahasya is uttama rahasyam? Because the knowledge of oneself is the highest knowledge. And that knowledge, once you have that, nothing else is there to be learned. So that is a very important knowledge, that is a uttama knowledge. But now that is appearing as though it's a rahasyam, because we are not able to apprehend. Even now, after so much of discussions on Vedanta and Bhagavad Gita, we still don't know what is this we are talking about self. We have that same doubt. So we are not able to get it. So this Atma is still a kind of rahasyam to all of us. We have knowledge, we have got Bhagavad Gita, we are trying to discuss this, we have learned from different Mahatmas about the discussions about Atma, but still we are not able to apprehend. So it is a secret, rahasyam. So that is what is the meaning of that. Maybe we'll take one more sloka today. Next.
Time of Mahodaya 3:15.
Okay, close it. Yeah. I'll just give this chanting. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Ata Chaturdhodhyayah Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga Shri Bhagavanuvacha Imau Vivasvate Yogam Proktabanaha Mavyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Ikshvaka Vebravit Evam parampara praptam imam rajashrayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashtaf parantapa sayevayam maya tedya yoga proktaf puratanaha bhaktosi me sakacheti rahasyam hetaduttamam. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah.